What the? I mean, and they've got history with this guy. It's not an abstract. This guy has been scamming from them and their family. He's a tax collector of that region. They've been impacted by him. They know that their money has gone to make his lifestyle. Because they misunderstood what was really important to Jesus. You see, Jesus does not care about a person's past. Jesus doesn't care about the tag and the label that you wear. And what's funny about this is the whole movement that came out of that uprising was called the Zealots, who wanted to fight against Rome with violence if necessary. And Jesus called a guy named Simon the Zealot and put him in the same group as Matthew the tax collector. Talk about strange group dynamics. These two guys that are about as apart politically as you can be are in the same group with Jesus because Jesus doesn't care about that stuff. Jesus doesn't care about titles or standing, and more importantly, He doesn't care about your past. What He's looking at is what you're going to become. You're going to become my disciple, and in the end, you're going to become a teacher like me. You're going to become a rabbi. You're going to do what I've done. He's looking at what He's going to do with the person. He's about relationships with people. He says, I don't care. I want to be in relationship with you. And the rest of it will take care of itself. Jesus is desperate, as we've been talking about, to be in relationship. And He's going to look in the most unlikely places with the most unlikely people. I'm desperate to be in relationship, He said. Follow me. Come be with me. Live with me. Travel with me. Matthew 5, verse 28. So Levi got up, left everything, and followed Him. Understand, this is incredibly powerful. Because the disciples before had got up, left, and then came back. Even after Jesus' death and resurrection, when they're figured out, when they're scared, don't know exactly what's going on with Jesus, they go back to fishing. They go back to their former life. When Matthew stood up from that table and said, I'm done, you weren't going to come back later. He just left the Roman government high and dry. They weren't going to just bring him back. When he got up from that table, he walked away from everything. He walked away from the money. He walked away from the status of money and power that he had. He walked away from a favorable relationship with the government. He walked away from everything that was his life in one moment and followed Jesus. And I don't know that you can underemphasize the moment and the power of that decision. The other guys were able to come back. He was cutting all ties. End of discussion. It's done. He was in a prime location for taxation, trade routes and all, and he's leaving it all behind. In one momentous step that says, I'm gone. One moment, he left everything and followed him. And as he left everything, what he got in return was relationship. What he got in return was meaning. What he got in return was literally a new life. It required him to get up and leave everything. He wasn't going to hang on to anything of that past. He couldn't. It was an all or nothing decision. But in return, he was now from the most despised to the guy that hung out in the presence of Jesus. He's the guy that went from being a cast-off society to being the one that many people thought, man, it'd be really cool if I could hang out with Jesus like that. In fact, thousands followed Jesus.